You can build an agent in Cursor, Visual Studio Code, any IDE. That part's already solved. The harder question is, where does this actually run and who can use it? Most agents are tethered to whoever has the API key and the right environment setup. Deploy to mimOE and your agent runs as a mim, which is a discoverable service on the network. The moment it's deployed, your colleague on a different node can open their studio and interact with it. No extra config, no cloud dependency, and no per token charge every time you want to test it. That's what we're building today, an AI agent mim from scratch, deployed into mimOE and live in studio. Okay, let me quickly generate my agent code with Claude. Now I simply ran this command in Claude and it went ahead and created an entire project for me. Now inside of this project, we have all of the files here. We're using VS Code and Claude for the convenience. You can do this in any IDE. What matters is the output, which are the 3 files that are located here. This gives us the core structure of our agent mim. Now we have index.js. The API handler exposes chat, MCP, and health check endpoints inside of this file. We also have agent.js. This is the agent runtime. This is where the reasoning loop lives. We also have tools.js. This is the MCP tools the agent can call. The 2 libraries doing the heavy lifting are Mimic Agent Kit and Mimic MCP Kit. Agent Kit runs the agentic loop. It handles reasoning, tool calls, streaming, and context management. MCP Kit handles the MCP side, connecting tool servers, discovering what tools are available, and calling them in a format the model can understand. In agent.js, you set the instructions, wire the MCP endpoints, running right on your device, not a cloud service, and point to the model. A message comes in, the agent reasons, decide if it needs a tool, gets the result back, and keeps going until it has an answer. That loop is what makes the agent an agent, and not just a prompt. We'll go into tools.js. And in tools, the tools are defined with names, descriptions, and schemas. So the model actually understands what each one does when it wants to use it. Since we're finishing the build, now we move on to execute. This is where mimOE Studio takes over. We have 2 options here. We can either go into mim images, click upload image, and if I go to that folder where we built the image, which is my mim agent here, I can click this and open it, which will place it inside of my mimOE Studio. Now I can go into mims and I can press deploy. I'll say I want to deploy my mim agent and I'll select the agent. There's that mim agent that we just deployed in the previous image step. I'll select that. And once I have this, I have to add the environment variables. And to find the environment variables, we'll go back to VS Code. We'll go into scripts. We will go into config, and we see that we have example.json. Now we can input one of these one by one into here. For example, I can say MCP API alias, and set the value to that, which is true. And I can so on, keep adding them until I can deploy it. Now we have a different option. The other option is I can go into Claude and I can simply ask it, deploy this for me onto mimOE. Okay, it already redeployed it. Now if we go back to mimOE Studio and we go to dashboard and we go to agents, we see that my mim agent is now showing up inside of mimOE Studio. Now we can interact with it. I'll press chat and I'll ask it to load the model. It'll load that model. And now we have a my agent that we created. Now I can ask it, What can you do? It can give me it has these 3 capabilities. So for example, I can say device information, and it'll give me information about the current device that I'm on, like my node ID, the API root of this agent, and what port mimOE is running on. The response is streaming back in real time, and this is the full agent, not just raw model. It has the role, its instruction, and the tools wired in. If it needs to call a tool or take a full multi-step path, that all happens through the agent layer. And here's the part that matters. The agent isn't running for you. It's discoverable on the network. Anyone authorized on a nearby node can interact with this agent through their mimOE studio. So what did mimOE add? Your agent mim that you just created now is a discoverable service on the network, not just a script that runs on your machine. It's discoverable. It's accessible by any other nodes. And every time you test, it costs you nothing in cloud tokens. What did you gain? You can build in any IDE and deploy through mimOE Studio. And your team can interact with what you've built from wherever they are on the network. If this helped you, consider smashing that like button. All the links are in the description. And if you have any questions, drop them down in the comments. Thanks for watching this video.